Hey guys, welcome back to Business Preliminary Course. This is the second part of this unit. In the last part, we talked about the first two things to do before landing a job. Read the job advertisement and apply for the position by sending your resume and cover letter. In today's class, we're going to discuss the next step before landing a job, going in for an interview. 只有面试成功了，你才能够拿到 offer， 才能开始在你喜欢的企业里上班。So, what we're going to talk about today is essential. And in today's class, I'm going to introduce the story of Philips. Here, let me tell you the story from the very beginning. L'Oreal, a leading brand in fast-moving consumer goods industry, was looking for a creative and dynamic marketing assistant. Now, after reading its job advertisement, Philip was interested in this position and sent his resume and cover letter. Today, he got a reply from L'Oreal. Now, does he have an interview or not? Is this an interview invitation note or rejection and thank you note? Philip 在上周的时候看到了欧莱雅登出的招聘广告，他们现在需要招一个 marketing assistant 营销助理。Philip 觉得自己应该是一个不错的人选，于是呢，他就申请了这个职位。那么一周过去之后的今天 ，Philip 收到了 L'Oreal 人事部门的一个回复。那么这个回复是一个面试邀请函，还是简单的感谢以及拒绝信呢？ Now, let's read this email and find out. Great. Now, after reading this email, here I would like to ask you this question. Does Philip have an interview or not? Of course he does, right? He has an interview. 好，这里出现了一封邮件。那么邮件的写作和阅读不管是在 BEC 初级的考试当中，还是在我们平常的工作当中，都是非常常见的。那么现在呢，我们就借此机会把这份邮件的结构跟内容一起过一遍。So, the first part. Dear Philip Doe,Thank you for applying for the position of marketing assistant with L'Oreal in New York City. 首先我们注意观察一下这个 L'Oreal 人事部门的 Peter Paxman 是如何称呼 Philip 的呢？对了，用了他的全名，但是在全名之前用了 Dear， 对不对？ Dear Philip Doe。好，用他的全称前面再加个 Dear， 既不会显得过于生分，也不会显得过于随意。那么接下来Thank you for applying for the position of marketing assistant with L'Oreal in New York City. 这一部分是用来做什么的呢？对了，是感谢对方的来信，对不对？那么你会投我们公司的简历，说明你首先是比较信任我们的公司，以及比较看得上这个职位，所以呢，先要感谢你。在商务邮件写作过程当中，我们一般不会在第一段就开始谈正事哈。那么第一段呢，都要说一些有用的废话。这些有用的废话呢，不管是感谢对方的来信，还是提及之前的一些邮件往来，我们把这一部分叫做 information part， 给对方一些必要的信息，告诉对方这封邮件是关于什么的，跟之前的哪一次邮件往来有关系，所以我们把这一部分叫做 information part。那么定位这封邮件到底是面试邀请函还是拒绝函呢？关键就在于第二段了。那么第二段发生了什么呢？我们一起来看一下。We'd like to invite you to come to our office to interview for this position. Your interview has been scheduled on May 1st, 1 p.m. at 575 Fifth Avenue. 好，这段话的关键词呢，其实就是 invite。Invite 这个动词告诉了这个读者，这是个面试邀请函。但是这里大家发现了没有 ？L'Oreal 的人事部门在发出面试邀请的时候，它并不是给人一种高高在上的感觉，它的语气和态度都是非常的诚恳。从哪里可以看得出来呢？ 对了，它用的句型 We would like to invite you. We would like to 要比直接的 please or come to our office 要委婉诚恳得多。这一段的第二个关键信息是面试安排在了什么地方、什么时候。那么这里是用哪个句型把这些关键信息给带出来的呢？对了 ，Your interview has been scheduled. Be scheduled 相当于 be arranged， 被安排在了这一天的几点，在哪个地方。好，前面我们已经说了，这一段呢是整封邮件的关键信息。那么在商务邮件写作过程当中，我们说第一段一般是给对方一个大致的背景，告诉对方这封邮件是关于什么的，是 information part。那么这一部分呢就是关键的 action part。action part 告诉对方你需要做什么。好，第二段既然已经把关键的信息给交代完了，那么第三段还用来干什么呢？我们看到第三段写了什么 ？Please call me at 212-984-4598 or email me at petermaxman@l'oreal.com if you have any questions or need to reschedule. 好，最后一段呢也是很重要的，它表明你是 open to questions。如果说 Philip 有什么疑问 have any questions， 或者说需要重新安排面试的话 reschedule 的话，那么你可以联系这个电话，或者说发邮件到这个邮箱。那看来L'Oreal 的人事部门还是考虑得很周到，这可以从侧面上反映出，第一人事部门 Peter Maxon 的职业素养还是很高的。那么另外一方面呢，也可以从侧面的反映出这个公司对人才还是很重视的。那么在商务邮件中呢，我们把像这样的结尾部分叫做 help part。好，这个我们总结一下。那么商务邮件呢，一般来说可以分为三大部分 ：information, action and help。那么商务邮件的具体写作方法跟技巧，我们将会在第3个 module 当中重点讲到。Okay, so much for this email. Now, seems like Philip has gotten an interview, huh? Here, Philip received this email on April 30th. Let's be noted is April 30th, and that's one day before the interview, which means tomorrow is the big day, right? Now here, what does he need to do for tomorrow's interview? What are some preparations he can make for tomorrow's interview? Now, let's take a look at some tips on preparations for an interview. 现在同学们点击课件右上方的方框，查看这些 tips。Great. Now, you can see 3 tips in the notes section, right? The first one, prepare your outfit, which means prepare what you're going to wear for the interview. The second, research the company's profile and background. Third, practice with a friend or family. Now, all these tips are great, aren't they? But is there anything missing? What more can you do to ensure a successful interview? Is there a 4th or 5th tip? 不管你之前是否有工作经验，不管你之前参加过多少次面试，那么现在让你去准备一个面试的话，你或多或少都会有些小紧张。那毕竟 you only have one chance to make the first impression, right? And you want to do your best to impress the interviewers. 好，你希望尽你所能给对方留下一个良好的印象，给你的面试加分。So you need to impress someone. You want to make a good impression on your interviewers. And you want your interviewers say, wow, that's really impressive. Instead of, well, that's unimpressive after the interview, right? So how do we make a good impression on the interviewers?除了我们刚刚说的这几点prepare your outfit, research the company's profile and background, and practice with a friend or family. 除了这几点，那我们在面试之前还能做哪些准备呢？ Now, an HR specialist is given tips on interview preparation. Now here, let's watch the video and compare her tips with the tips that you have thought of. What tips have you missed?
Hi, I'm Allison Doyle for About.com. Being prepared for a job interview will help you manage the stress of answering questions and will help you make a positive impression on the interviewer. Here are some tips on how you can prepare ahead of time for the big day. When you're looking for a job, it's important to always have one good suit to wear. That way you don't have to scramble, even if you get a last-minute call for an interview. Try everything on ahead of time so you don't have any last-minute fashion disasters. Pay attention to detail. Your hair, nails, shoes should all look polished and professional. Research the company and the job ahead of time. Search sites like Glassdoor, Vault, and Google to find information about the company, its management, and the jobs the company typically hires for. If you're a member of professional networking sites, use your connections to get inside information that will help show the interviewer that you are knowledgeable about the company, its mission, and its employees. Plan your interview. Request time off from work if you're employed. Plan the logistics of getting to the interview with plenty of time to spare. Print out extra copies of your resume and a list of references. Practice interview by having a friend or family member run through typical questions with you. And also come up with questions of your own because you will be asked if you have any at the end of the interview. Having one will show you've done your homework and are truly interested in the job. Stay calm and know that you're ready to do your best. You've spent time practicing and preparing, so you'll be ready to interview effectively. Thanks for watching. To learn more, visit us on the web at about.com.
OK， 看完之后，很明显哈，我们漏掉了一个很重要的步骤 ，prepare for an interview。而在 research the company 和 practice interviewing 中，那这个人事专员呢，也提到了很多我们平常容易忽略的，但是呢，却是很重要的点。那么到底是哪些点我们忽略掉了呢？ Now let's take a look at some key points that she mentioned. First, let's review the first part of the video clip and fill in the blanks.
Plan your interview. Request time off from work if you're employed. Plan the logistics of getting to the interview with plenty of time to spare. Print out extra copies of your resume and a list of references.
Okay, great. 那在这个短短的面试准备部分哈，这个 HR specialist 提到了3点。So, what are the 3 things you need to do in preparing for the interview? Now, the first thing to do is to request time off from work if you are employed. Now, what does this mean? Great. It means ask for leave if you have work to do. Ask for leave, 请假. Now, the second thing to do is to plan the logistics of getting to the interview with plenty of time to spare. So, what does this mean? Great. So you need to plan transportation so that you won't be late and still you have more time to get ready. Logistics 这个词呢是表示物流 ，OK， 我们很多同学是从事物流业，但是呢在这一段话中呢 ，logistics 是表示 transportation， 好交通哈，那提前呢要准备好各种交通方式 ，so that you have more time to spare。Spare 这个词呢，做名词的时候是表示备胎，但在这个语境当中，跟备胎是无关的，这个是用作动词，表示分出、让出。那我们在准备面试的时候，要先查好路线图，那去这个公司应该怎么去？那么尽量的多准备几种交通方式哈，因为你不知道当天的路况会怎么样，那也不知道中途会发生什么特殊情况，所以呢 ，better safe than sorry。好，这是第2件事情。那么第3件事情是什么呢？Print out extra copies of your resumes and a list of references. What does this mean? Great. You need to bring at least 2 copies of resume and reference, right? At least 2 copies, which means extra copies. 那很多公司其实呢，在安排面试的时候会自己打印出简历。那你多带几份呢，也可以为你的面试加分。那说明呢，你是有备而来的嘛。 那么你给用人公司传递的信号是你是很重视这次机会的，所以呢你才会这么有心的多准备几套简历和介绍信。那我们再来说说这个介绍信 references。好，一般来说，高级员工或者说高管级别的这种应聘者呢，用人公司在确定录用你之前，都会对你做一个背景调查。这种背景调查的方式可能是打电话到你上家的 HR 办公室，了解你之前的工作情况，那看你的简历以及面试情况是否跟实际情况相悖，看你是否有撒谎哈。如果你现在已经有几份不错的介绍信的话，那么不妨在面试的时候带上。人事部门管你要的时候呢，你可以直接给他。那么从另外一个方面来说呢，也可以看出你是有备而来的。Now, let's take a look at the next part of the video clip. So we've known that before landing a job, it helps to research the company first. But why? Why do we need to research the company? Why is it beneficial to us to search the company?And what specific information do we need to know before we walk into that interview room? Now here, let's watch the video clip and decide if the statements below are true or false. First, search the company on the internet to learn about the company, company structure, and the position you applied for. Second, if you are a young professional, go to the company office to know more about the company mission and its staff. So are these statements true or false? Now let's watch the video and decide later. Here we go.
Search sites like Glassdoor, Volt, and Google to find information about the company, its management, and the jobs the company typically hires for. If you're a member of professional networking sites, use your connections to get inside information that will help show the interviewer that you are knowledgeable about the company, its mission, and its employees.
Great. Now, the first statement, is it true or false? Well, seems like to be true, but actually is not true exactly. And the difference between my statement and the original test lies in the later part of the statement. 好，视频中的人事主管说我们可以通过 Glassdoor, Volt 或 Google 国外的这些网站或者说搜索引擎去搜这个公司，可以搜这个公司是干什么的，它的历史是怎么样的，同时呢可以搜一下它的管理管理层是怎么样的，管理理念是怎么样的。最后一个，它现在呢主要呢是在招哪些职位？为什么要看这公司招的其他职位呢？对了，可以从他招的职位当中看出这个公司发展的动态。一般来说，这个公司要大力发展哪个方向的话，就会在哪个方向进行专门的招人。所以在做面试准备的时候，不单单是要更加了解你这个职位本身的一些东西，还可以去了解一下这个公司还在哪些方向重点的招人。这呢，我们回过去看第二个点哈。那在网上也可以搜这个公司的管理层以及管理理念。管理层和管理理念呢，就涉及到了一个公司的架构 ，company structure。这一点还是很重要的哈。谁知道呢？可能面试你的人呢，就是你之前 Google 或者百度过的。你可能在面试之前呢，就正好看到了这个管理层的最近的动态。那如果在面试的时候，你能够在合适的机会提到这个动态，我知道哈。最近我们公司怎么样，做了个什么事情，那么对方呢会对你刮目相看。Again, you are prepared. 好，看一下第二个 statement. If you are a young professional, go to the company office to know more about the company mission and its staff. Well, apparently this is wrong, right? You cannot go directly to the office beforehand. 我们看一下这个 video 本身是怎么说的。If you're a member of professional networking sites, use your connections to get inside information that will help show the interviewer that you are knowledgeable about the company, its mission, and its employees. OK, 这句话还是很长，里面呢包含了很多信息点。首先 ，if you're a member of professional networking sites。Professional networking sites 职业社交网站，如果你是一些职业社交网站上的用户的话，你可以做什么呢？你可以用你的一些关系 ，connections， 用这些网站上的关系来得到一些这公司的内部信息。 所以说哈，是让你通过一些职业社交网站，通过你的关系去获得内部信息，而不是让你直接走到人家办公室里面去事先做调查哈。这一提到了职业社交网站，那么大家平常都上哪些职业社交网站呢？大家在各大社交平台上的活跃度又是怎么样的呢？可能大家比较熟悉的一些职业社交平台，比如说 LinkedIn， 或者说我们中国本地的若羚网。大家可以通过这些职业社交平台去关注一些业内或者说业外的一些精英人士哈。那同样的，你也可以通过这个平台去关注一些你即将要面试的这个公司的一些员工的情况，对不对？你可以去关注他们，然后看他们平常都发些什么，是不是发一些跟公司相关的一些信息啊？你可以从这个侧面了解一下这个公司的情况，然后呢，这个公司一些使命以及这个员工本身，这个幸福感高不高？那么这一点呢，其实也是大家职业素养的体现哈。除了平时我们玩的微博、微信，我们也可以去做一些更加专业的事情，在一些专业的社交平台上做一些网络社交。Okay, so much for research the company. 一起来做个小练习吧。
How much does the man earn in total at the moment?
You obviously want to know about the salary we'd pay. You'd earn £40,000 a year. How does that compare with your present salary?
Well, with commission, I make £46,000, but the basic salary is £35,000.
I see. Well, if you decide to take the post, we can review your salary after a 6-month trial period.